What's up, good people? I am Ron Stoppable. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Here we talk about fitness, health, trying to stay motivated, trying to stay in the zone, transparency, and most importantly, discipline. I come to you today, it's a Thursday. I took the day off from work. I had a leak in my kitchen that leaked down into my garage, and so the plumbers came out today to repair it. And turns out it wasn't even, it was a leak, but it was due to a backup. It wasn't because of a crack in the pipe. So in DC, a lot of these houses have the original cast iron piping that came with the houses when they were originally built. But luckily, while I do have some upgraded piping to PVC, where the PVC goes into the wall and out of the house essentially is PVC. But there's a Fernco, which is a pipe that goes in, the PVC goes into the cast iron, and it's a Fernco is like a cap, not a cap, but like sort of like an ace bandage that goes around it and secures it tight. It prevents it from leaking. So what was happening was when water was hitting against the backup, it was bouncing back and shooting out of the top of the Fernco down into the basement. But anyway, we're not here to talk about all that. But anyway, they came out to repair that. So I took today and said, you know what? I'm going to talk about a few things. I recently purchased Arnold Schwarzenegger's the Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding. And the reason why I got it is because I don't want to be a bodybuilder. I don't necessarily want to look like a bodybuilder, but it has a lot of information as far as nutrition, workouts, intensity, muscle growth, all that kind of stuff like that. Excuse me. And so I bought it, and I was thumbing through it while the plumbers were here. There's a fuck ton of pictures of people in here, man. A lot of names I've heard before. Haney, Schwarzenegger, obviously, and a whole slew of other people. Now, I'm about to be 42 years old. There's no reason for me to want to aspire to be a bodybuilder. Most of these guys started when they were in their mid to late teens. And by this time, they were already in their golden age, ready to hang it up. But I do want to have a physique that I've never had before. I've always been a big guy. I played football since I was little, and I always played on the line because I was a big guy. I don't have a problem with that. I've been, a big guy my whole life, so I essentially don't have a problem with that. But I'm older now. I'm a little more settled in my life, and still, as we get older, we still learn that we're figuring stuff out. But I want to get a physique that I've never had. I want to get abs. I want to get a turtle shell back. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah. So what this book is actually going to help me with that, because even though it's an encyclopedia, it's more of a training manual / encyclopedia / Bible for bodybuilders, so to speak. And so far, I've thumbed through about 50, 60 pages in no random order. I just go to the table of contents or the index and look for something in particular. I was actually looking for a section on nutrition. I haven't found it yet, but that doesn't mean that it's not in here. So I actually am going to eat something right quick, thumb through this a little bit more, because there were some pages that I curled at the tip that I wanted to touch on. So let me do that, and I'll catch back up with y'all in a few minutes. All right, I'm back. And so I did find the nutrition chapter. Ironically, it's the very last chapter. So I only read a couple of pages in it so far. I got tied up with work and, flipping through this book and whatnot. Plus I ate. But I will touch on briefly that they do talk a lot about balance as far as nutrition. I haven't got to the detail parts of that, but I think that we all can pretty much understand what they mean. You know, none of us are gonna eat clean 100% of the time. It's possible, but not long term. You might can go a couple of weeks. Some could even go a couple of months. Personally, I can't even go a couple of days, but that's neither here nor there. But, you know, it's all mental. It's one of the biggest things that they've talked about. Like every chapter that I've flipped through says something about where your mind should be, has to be during this process. Now, again, I am not interested in being a bodybuilder one bit, but I do want to look a certain way. I would like to have a certain aesthetic, you know what I mean? And so I was taking some pictures of myself the other day in the mirror, and I could start to see some trap and some separation coming in up around in this area, chest getting nice and full. I still got moobs is what I call them, man boobs. So it's hard to see them, you know, if you're not somebody who sees me every day. But, you know, so you have to mentally be prepared. You have to mentally be focused. You just have to be 100% in. Again, being 100% in does not mean you're not gonna make mistakes. It does not mean you're gonna have the best diet on the planet. But I will say, if it's 30 days in a month, you want to have less than 5 screw-ups. I think that's very reasonable. That leaves you room for 1 a week, maybe 2. You know what I mean? Because it's 4 weeks in a year. You know, you might mess around and go spend a weekend somewhere and, you know, there's nowhere for you to work out or at least get a real workout in. So, you know, you're going to eat not that great for 2 days or whatnot. You know, but it's neither here nor there. I just really, you know, I've been having trouble, as a lot of you know, with my nutrition. Now, my lunch that I just had, I'll be honest, it was a sandwich. I used Italian bread sub style. I used light mayo, turkey ham, salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic salt, jalapenos, onions and tomatoes, and some mustard. Now, it's not the worst, but it's definitely not the best. My next 2 meals are gonna actually be on point. One is salmon, broccoli and jasmine rice. The other is, I think it's chicken and broccoli. I'm not sure. I can't remember, but they're gonna be, you know, what they should be. So as I get further into this book, because again, I'm not reading it from front to back. I'm just going to the chapters that I could benefit from right now. I will eventually get through this entire book. I have not broken out the highlighter yet. I have not bookmarked any pages for me to come back to. I did, like, you know, crinkle the corners on a couple pages. That's just so that I could make this video and come back and talk about them. But essentially, it's all down to balance and your mentality. You know, you cannot outwork a shitty diet. You also cannot focus 100% on the scale. Now, I'm somebody who wholeheartedly knows that, about the scale. But sometimes it does kind of make you get you frustrated, you know. But then you have to ask yourself, what have I done over the past couple of days for this to happen? And I found myself not trying to, like, I would always feel like, oh, I didn't do that bad. And so I would always feel like, what's going on with this scale? And then I would just, you know, believe my own lies, like, oh, it wasn't that bad. But then the scale would be like, sir, yes, it was. But needless to say, I know where my flaws are. And so I make videos like this now, transparency, because I know I'm not the only person that falls into this. You know, I know that this is a struggle that a lot of us have. even though I had work done in the house today, and you know, I go to the gym Wednesday through Sunday, I still got up and went to the gym this morning. I had a good leg workout. Unfortunately, no footage. And it was surprisingly a lot of people in there for 6 o'clock in the morning. But again, I enjoyed myself. You know, I had Popeyes for dinner last night. I had chicken tenders, small fry, and a biscuit. Now, I know that that's not a great meal at all. There's nothing positive about that meal. But it was not as much as I would normally eat when I fall off a little bit. I guess I'm just not, like, I can talk it, but I'm not walking it. And, you know, one thing I've learned over the years is both tongues got to match. The one in your mouth and the one in your shoe. You got to walk it like you talk it. You know, I talk to people all the time about fitness, and they're always very engaged in my responses. And I just tell them the stuff that I know. I very rarely get into the transparency of it about my screw-ups and whatnot. I mean, sometimes I do, depending on who I'm talking to. But if it's somebody that's struggling, I just tend to give them, not necessarily the spiel, but I just basically let them know that, you know, it's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. You're going to want to quit. But you just got to keep at it. And again, I don't take my own advice. You know what I'm saying? So again, that's why I make these videos. But I'm really glad that I got this book, because shout out to Beast Mode. He has spoken about this book a couple of times. He hasn't really gotten into details. Like, he'll be talking about something and then he'll say, look, it says what I'm saying right here in this book, you know. And so one of his favorite quotes is he only takes notes from the GOATs. And this is by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he had a couple of other bodybuilders and editors chip in and stuff like that. But this is really a Bible for getting in shape. So as I get further into it, I'm gonna take some notes and have some more videos about it and whatnot. And you know, we'll see what happens. So it is now, I think it's like 2:12. I'm going to do a little bit more reading, see if anything jumps out at me that I want to discuss, or something, some information I may could pass on to you. Then I'll do that. But if not, you know, I'll just come back and close it out. But until then, we'll see what happens. So I'll see y'all in a minute. All right, so this book has a lot of information. I mean, a lot. So yeah, I look forward to having some little discussions about this with you guys and amongst my peers. So that'll be it. I'm gonna say this. It's definitely all in here. We have got to be ready. We have got to be focused. We have got to want to do this. That's the only thing we can do. That's the only way that we will be able to succeed. I don't know any other way to put it. So I'll close out with, stay humble, stay positive, keep positive people in your circle, get your fitness coach, personal trainer, or some accountability partners. Preferably someone or some people that are near you. This is a whole lot easier to do when you have people to do it with you. And as sure as 10 dimes make a dollar, I'll say it till I can't say it no more. Consistency is key. I'm Ron Stoppable. Thank you for watching my channel. Drop me a like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you on the next one.
What's up? It's your boy Drizzy Drake, and you are now rocking with Pain.